is the same tone.
Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmam 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 Amritam Gamaya. Lead me from the unreal to the real, from the darkness to the light, from death to immortality. Peace, peace, peace.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. So just thinking about the meaning of that mantra, from darkness to the light, or from the unreal to the real. And we're still in that time of Diwali, which is really 10 days long. So Diwali is all about the light. And when we think about light, light reveals truth, reveals what is, allows us to see clearly. And so the light is very important. And this is especially timely on November 5th, which is voting day here in the United States. So to illuminate that which is real, that which is true, and so as yogis, that's what we look for. What is real and what is true. And so that we may move into that light of reality, of what is really real and what is really true. What we really want to talk about today is giving our 100% effort to that which we engage in. So be it our job, our schoolwork, our relationship, a specific task, to give it 100%. And so we started this conversation because we were out in the world shopping, doing our grocery shopping, and stopped at another little store. And she would ask me to comment that, the woman at the checkout wasn't very engaged, didn't really try to persuade you to get the 20% off with a credit card, those types of things. And so we were talking about how this is kind of the norm, even though we don't want it to be the norm. We want people to be engaged and present and excited about life, because that's what ripples out. So same thing with truth. Like, truth ripples out. If you hang out with people that are truthful, you'll tend to be more truthful. If you hang out with people who tend to not be as truthful, you'll tend to not be as honest. You'll tend to maybe, oh, it's just a little white lie and things like that. And so giving it 100% of where you are with what you have. The thing with the checkout girl was at the very end of the transaction, she like lit up, like, you know, here you are, love. Like, she was totally present for that part. We just wanted to talk about what it means to give 100%. And as Bhagavan Das, our teacher, would say, give it 108%. And he talked about that when we were doing our spiritual practices like mantra. To not stop when you're bored with it or tired or maybe even your throat sore or whatever, but to keep going, to push through, because often the limitation is within the mind and not actually within our energetic or physical capacity.
So for the example of hanging out with truthful people, to make yourself more truthful, we could turn that around so that if you're 100% truthful, then maybe the people around you will also be more truthful. So we don't want to blame others for our lack of enthusiasm, our lack of being truthful, our lack of really investigating what is really true or what is just being told to us that we should believe. We want to believe for ourselves. As far as what our teacher Bhagavan Das said, he said, yes, he did say, give 108%. And I think that that is true. But the other thing that Bhagavan Das said, and I know this is going to sound a little rough, so if you want to edit this out, Bhagavan Das used to always tell people that in our culture today, we are half people. We live in that way. Okay, we never give 100%. We're always just giving what we need, the minimum that we need to do. I think what Durga Devi and I are, the point that we want to get across is that when you're at your job, right, give 100%. Okay, don't give the minimum that you can do, right? If you're a teacher, a yoga teacher, a math teacher, a school teacher of any type, give 100%. Don't just give the minimum. And whatever you do, do it 100%. Don't do it half. We don't want to be like that. Now, why would we want to do that? Why would we want to give 100% to somebody that is seemingly insignificant?
It really builds our character and our own integrity, you know, and it builds that muscle of integrity, which if you look around, it's hard to find that muscle of integrity around. So you have to be that, because like Shiva Das was saying, what you do will impact others, hopefully in a positive way. And so if you are authentic, if you have integrity, if you give 100% and you are influencing others, that will influence them as well to give 100%. Right. And it also makes you feel good when you know you gave it your all, you know, without attachment to the outcome. Giving yourself 100% to, we were talking about when we would teach at the studio. And we, you know, we're still teaching yoga classes. And so there could be one person in class, or there could be 10 people or more in class. It doesn't matter. You give it 100%, and it always feels good, regardless of how many people are in class, regardless of if someone said that was a great class or not. You feel good because you know you did your best. And I feel like that's not really being represented in the world.
Yeah, but the idea is that, you know, for our others' benefit, for the benefit of your family, your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, your community, we want to give them 100% of our time, our effort, our wisdom, our knowledge. And for our own benefit, again, like Durga Devi said, this will make us feel better. It helps to fortify our integrity, our values, our principles, and it will ripple out into the world. This is one of the reasons why we do yoga. In every yoga class, maybe not every class today, but the way we were brought up and taught in the yoga tradition, we always did the Mangala mantra at the end, which is sending back out our the benefits that we've received back out into the world. And this is what they do in Buddhism as well, in a different way. They have a different ritual. They write prayers on prayer flags, and they put them outside, string them to trees, and those prayers are believed to blow across the land, across the country, around the world. How do we teach others to be their best if we're not giving our best? Do everything you can do. Responding to that email, make sure you respond fully. Make sure you read it carefully and respond to everything in that email. If somebody sends you a text message, respond. How much effort does it take for us to use our two thumbs and say, thank you for your email, I will respond later, I'm busy right now, if you can't respond fully. Or better yet, someone sends you a text message or an email, instead of responding back with a text message or email, call them, have a conversation in person, and speak truth. We don't have to be harsh about it, but we can speak truth, and we can solve something in one simple conversation that would probably take us, many text messages or emails to get clear. And it's never clear when we're texting or writing an email anyway.
And also, just to elaborate a little bit on that, when we're not giving 100%, or it's not 100% of our truth, your body is feeling that battle of what you know is right and what you're actually doing.
Right.
And so there's this battle within, which is bad for our health, which creates a low level of stress in our body. So when we're not honest with ourselves, or we're like, well, I'm not going to give it 100% because of whatever, fill in the blank. When you're doing that task or teaching that class, there's a battle in that, and you are not 100% present because you're thinking about how you really don't want to give or be there. Giving it 100% is not just beneficial for the other people, but it's beneficial for your own health, your own integrity, your own well-being, and it makes a difference. And this is why, satya, truthfulness, is one of the highest yamas, right after, nonviolence. So non-harming. Non-harming and truthfulness really go hand in hand. And when you're non-harming and truthful, you're present. And when you're present, you can give it 100%.
Right.
So those are kind of the ingredients of giving 100%. Now, if you haven't slept, you have a small child, and you haven't slept in 2 days, your 100% is going to be less than someone who is not in that scenario, who got a good night's sleep. But you're going to give it your 100%, honestly.
There's different degrees of it, but however we're feeling, we want to give it 100%. And there's, we could talk about this for all day long. If you're at work, okay, maybe you're at a dead-end job, right? Maybe you work at McDonald's even. But if you give it 100% every day, somebody may notice your efforts and you might get a promotion. But if you're just showing up at 8:01 or 8:02 every day when you're supposed to be there at 8, I was always taught by my mentor in my first job to show up early. Plan on being at work 10 minutes early. And my mentor always said, don't start to clear off your desk and prepare to leave 10 minutes before 5 o'clock. He said, wait till 5 o'clock and then, prepare to leave. And he said, leave by 5 after, 10 after.
Yeah, these are really good points.
Yeah.
When you show up to any appointment, whether it's a job or appointment, and you show up 1 minute after, the person most likely is going to notice. I know we notice. And like for a yoga class, we notice. And we notice if someone's signing in as we're starting class, And so what that shows is that it's not important to you and you're not giving it 100%.
Right.
And then it goes into respect and value and all those other ethical questions. If you're there early, it means you're thinking about what you're doing, the other people involved. You are there 100% because you're early, you've been thinking about it.
And this goes to compassion. We always hear people talk about compassion related to yoga. But compassion is really seeing the other person's perspective or being in their shoes. What is it like for that person when you've made a commitment to be someplace at a specific time and you show up 10 minutes late? Okay, maybe there was bad traffic, right? But the next time you do it, and the next time you do it, and the next time you do it, what are you doing to your own integrity? People won't rely on you anymore. So the idea behind this stuff, my friends, is that we want to live in the highest integrity that we can. And for many, many years now, way back when we first had the yoga studio even, we would do these yoga lifestyle programs. And we would always try to get the point across to have integrity, to investigate what your values are. You know, what does it mean for you? What are your principles? So we have to spend some time understanding what our principles are, what our values are, what are the highest principles, the highest values that we can have, and make sure that we clearly understand these things, and then we want to live by them. And if one of your values is not being on time, then don't be on time. But I think it's part of having integrity, because like Durga Devi said earlier, when we have integrity, this isn't just a psychological thing, okay? It's not just new agey or yogic or something like that. This spills over into our physical body and affects our physical body. If we know in the back of our minds that we can't be relied on, what is that going to do to our bodies? You can imagine.
And then your self-confidence.
Yeah, your self-confidence.
And then it goes into depression.
Right.
And what it is we're living out of alignment with our truth.
Right.
So when we're living out of alignment with our truth, just like when you're out of alignment in a yoga pose, there can be consequences to that, right? You can create some harm and bad habits.
Right. And I'll tell you why it's so important for us to live in harmony with these values, okay? And this is something that I've told many people that I've coached in the past. Just ask yourself a question and write it down. What does it mean for me to simply be a good human being? Okay? We all know the answer to this. Because we know the answer to this, this is built into our DNA. And when we live out of alignment with what our human values are, human principles, what it means to be a good human being, when we're always out of balance, this is what causes mental illness, stress, anxiety, depression, and causes the world to be whacked out. And this is why our world is so whacked out today, even in our country, in our culture, in our society.
And over time that leads to physical illness,
Yeah.
physical symptoms.
Or violence. When we're depressed all the time, when we're always under anxiety and stress, we already know what the results, the long-term results of that is on our physical body.
It leads to isolation and separateness.
Yeah, separateness.
And so separateness isn't our natural state. Yoga, union, togetherness is our natural state. And that's could be a whole nother topic to talk about. But when we don't want to give 100%, we are actually cutting ourselves off from whoever is on the other end of that. Mm-hmm. We're saying we're separate from that person or these beings or this class or this group of colleagues. And that separateness is the beginning of a downward spiral of mental health decline and physical health decline.
Right. And, Durga Devi's done a lot of research into this, and she knows that there's a lot of medical evidence, a lot of medical research that shows that when we start to get under anxiety and stress, and because of the reasons we've just mentioned, that can not only affect our mental health, but our physical health in ways that we can't even imagine. It can affect our liver, it can affect our heart, our digestive system. We get tight, right? When we're under stress and tension, we get tight, and our muscles contract, and then we injure ourselves when our muscles are contracted and we try to do certain movements. So It's so important for us to get into alignment with our values, and the beginning is to do your best and be your best. All right, my friends, be well. If you need further help, please know that you can call on us. We both offer coaching, and we offer streaming classes. We're offering the liver cleanse, which is much more than just a liver cleanse. It's not just a liver, not just diet. It's healthy nutrition, healthy lifestyle, healthy mind, good exercise, and things like this. These are all parts of it. So you can reach out to us and see how we might be able to help you.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.